This Reddit user has nearly $40,000 in debt combined, which is absolutely disgusting. Which, by the way, if you want to learn how to get out of debt and how I got out of debt and grew my net worth, go down below. So, credit card debt, needing advice and thoughts on my idea. Please and thank you. So, let's actually put up this calculator so I could actually show you. So, they got a US bank, I guess, credit card, 9653 at 19% interest, disgusting, plus an Amex credit card, $12,500, plus a Discover credit card, $9,274, right? Now, the credit cards alone is $31,427, right? And the lowest interest rate on one of these credit cards is basically 17%, which is horrendous. And the reason why it's horrendous, pretty much there's nowhere that you could invest money where you would be able to make that type of annual percentage, which is depressing. And then they have a personal loan at $7,200. Now, I don't know what their rate is at the personal loan because they don't have it listed, but that brings the total debt that they got, at least that they listed, at $38,627. This is a disturbingly high amount. But what's sad is that this is pretty common, right? And the scary thing is, I don't know how much this individual actually makes per year, which is a really big factor in how you're going to pay off your debt, right? Because there's a few ways that you could pay off your debt. One is by boosting your income and lowering your expenses, or doing both at the same time, right? But, okay, so they also have, my question is this. I have about $6,500 in the stock market that I could cash out. Been holding this oil stock since the beginning of COVID. Bought in at a very lower amount and now it's going up, hopefully more. Anyways, do I cash that stock out, take that money, and pay toward my credit card debt or the personal loan? My personal loan is with the US Bank, and per their policy, only one personal loan can be had at a time. So pay off that personal loan and apply for another to get rid of this credit card debt in one monthly payment versus three. Or take that 6,500 and put towards my highest interest rate, which would be the Amex. So here's the thing. If I was in this position, right, with their situation, although I don't know how much they actually make, and I'm pretty certain they don't say anything about how much money they make. Apparently they have a full-time and a part-time job, but again, there's no idea, like I have no idea what they make, right? Which is an issue. So, number one, I'd probably try to boost my income because again, I have no clue what they make. Two, what I would do, I would cash out the stocks and put some aside for taxes because you're going to have to do that because it gained quite a bit, apparently, from what they're saying, and I'd probably put it towards their Discover card, which is 9,274, which is like the lowest. Actually, no, the personal loan is actually the lowest. So the personal loan is 7,200. So I would actually I'd cash out all of their stock, put it towards their personal loan, work as hard as I can, pay the rest of that personal loan off, and then start working on the Discover card, and then the US Bank card, and then the Amex as last. Now, depending on their credit score, right, and their financial situation, it might actually be worthwhile to consider maybe like a cash balance transfer, right? And what I mean by that is like, or at least a balance transfer card, right? Because in some cases, usually with the bank that you have your checking and savings account, they would typically offer you, if you have very good credit, they would typically offer you an option to literally transfer all of your balances to one credit card with either a very low annual percent for 12 months or no interest for 12 months. Now, I've seen in the very rare case where someone with more of a balance than this, with multiple credit cards, basically like did a balance transfer of about like 50 to 60 grand, but they got 2 years with no interest because they had a perfect credit score. And that helped them basically pay their debt because every single one of their credit cards were over 20 something percent. They were making good enough money, but the minimum amount that they were paying on these cards was just insane, right? So they basically had to do it that way because it was just the better option, right? Because they could put way more money towards the principal than if they were trying to pay it individually, right? But that's a very unique situation. Not everyone is able to do that. You have to be in a very specific place where you have very good credit score and enough money coming in where you could actually pay off that credit card in time before you start carrying interest on it. So that's the route that I would go, right? But again, I don't know what this person makes, so it makes it very hard. Like, let's say that this person makes 40 grand a year after tax, right? This is a very difficult situation, and you have to make more money. Like, that is the best route. You have to make more money. If you're making 80 grand a year with your full-time slash side job, then I would be focusing on paying from lowest balance to highest balance. I wouldn't even care about the interest rate. And the reason why I wouldn't care about the interest rate is because the reality is it doesn't matter in this situation, right? This isn't something where like you got like a loan for like 1 or 2% and you can invest the rest of your money in the stock market at like 10% per year and you can make a good, profit margin on that. Like, that's not this type of situation. This is a situation where you're paying nearly 20% on all of your debt. There's nowhere that you could pretty much invest where you will make more return than just paying off your debt. Like, you will get a better return paying off your debt point blank than ever investing your money if you're carrying credit card balances. And that's what people need to understand. Like, if you have balances on a credit card, there's no reason for you to be investing your money because there's nowhere that you could consistently invest your money to where you would make more than the annual interest rates on these credit cards, right? And I don't even know the interest rate on that personal loan. And what scares me is like there's people with like card debt this high, right? This is credit card debt. This is like, and the scary thing about this compared to, let's say, like a card thing, with card debt, you could at the very least sell the car to lower the balance. With these are all credit card debts. So probably 99% of all of their purchases are all consumed, meaning they already consumed whatever they spent their money on these cards, which means that you can't really sell any of the stuff that you bought to try to lower the balance, which is a very scary thing, right? Like, imagine eating potentially like 40 grand. Like, you can't get that money back. That's the problem, right? Like, they probably didn't even spend any of this money on something that they could actually go and sell to try to make some quick money, even at like a loss. But yeah, this is why you gotta be very careful with credit cards. And if you start carrying like a balance on any credit card, then you gotta like understand yourself that you're someone that cannot use a credit card. This individual cannot use a credit card. This individual cannot use debt basically at all because they completely screw themselves when it comes to debt. Stay tuned for more. And again, if you want to learn how to get out of debt, how I got out of debt and grew my net worth, go down below. But man, this is a very bad situation. And again, I have no idea what they make.